I woke up the day following last round feeling like a terrible person and just like couldn't sleep the night before. But I did want to apologize to Finn and Emily specifically, just because I know I put them at risk. I was thinking about the decision I made, and I think ultimately the thing I'm like sorry about is kind of putting you and Finn at risk. I did not mean to put you at risk, and I didn't think about that when I made the decision, and I like made sure that like the two of you would be safe, but that is something I feel really bad about. So I just wanted to apologize because I know like that was probably stressful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It feels a little pathetic to me. I won't lie. I just think like if you're gonna make a move like that, you have to be ready to back it up like the bitch you are and not come in groveling trying to get forgiveness from the people you fucked over. It's just not gonna happen.
For me, it kind of is what it is. Like, I'll work with her if that's what the situation demands, but I can't trust her.
If you need me for any strategies, definitely let me know.
Because I do think you owe me one at this point.
Oh, I definitely do. And like again,
Greta betrayed a lot of people, and I would be very surprised if not everybody's on the exact same page that Greta has to go.
I narrowly avoided elimination last round, and I feel like I'm still a pretty big target. My name is still in people's mouths, and I'm also not sure if it's CJ and Gabby spreading that around.
I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, it was a sketchy situation I was in.
I'm by no means against him in this competition. And while he's still in it, I definitely want to keep working with him. Be careful of CJ, I think, because you eliminated her. She's like, might be on the Jessie warpath right now, but I'm not too sure about that.
I was so unclear last round of whether, like,
Where
CJ, and then, like, you to a certain extent, but more so CJ, whether this was, like, playing the part or, like, I'm being double-crossed and, like, this, you know, beef that we set up actually is a real thing that, like, is being used to get my name out there. Either way,
I definitely did not do that to you.
After the call, I'm feeling good about my relationship with Gabby. She seems pretty honest in that we are working together and we're actually close, but it really has set off an alarm in my head that CJ is the one out to get me.
Fight!
Welcome to day 13 of Fight or Flight. I want to congratulate you all again for making the jury. Looking around the Zoom, one of you will be the winner this season, which means the other 10 of you are going to fall short of it. That being said, it is no longer about surviving the round. It is about doing what you have to do to make sure you have enough of a resume to be able to be the one who's the winner.
I'm hoping that the start of Jury really sets a fire under people's asses and gets people to start playing this game. Because I feel like so far, there's been a lot of building relationships, which is good, but people need to start making strategic moves if they want a chance to reach the end.
Last round, I had you all fill out a Ranker Tank survey. If you are a fan of last season, you may have deduced that this is just a thinly veiled disguise for friend or foe.
As I've learned from season 1, surveys usually do not bode well for the social relationships in this game, and things were already so shaken up in the last round that I'm nervous about what's going to happen.
That was probably really poor timing for me in particular because I am probably everyone's number one target. So interested to see what happens, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the chopping block this round.
In the survey, I asked you all to rank your top friends and your top foes, with each placement corresponding to a numerical score.
The survey asked us to rank our top 5 allies and our top 5 enemies.
We ranked our allies from closest ally to 5th closest ally, and we ranked our targets from biggest target to 5th biggest target.
So even the people that you feel completely neutral towards, the people that you are neither aligned with nor do you feel like you're targeting, you have to decide. Either this person is someone that you consider more an alliance than a target, or someone that you consider more a target than an alliance.
Using these results, we were able to indicate the top 3 friends and the top 3 foes left in the game. Those with the most positive scores ended up on the friend side, and those with the most negative scores ended up on the foe side. This round, the top voted friends and the top voted foes will all be nominated for elimination.
Being on the radar of a lot of people is not a good thing because it increases your chances of being named either a friend or a foe.
It's something that can make or break a game. And so at this point, I'm panicking a little bit and very anxious to hear the survey results.
If I call your name, please leave your camera on. CJ, Sheridan, Matt, Trishti, Zach. The 5 of you received the most friend votes.
I immediately clock that all of the red team is on the friends except Gabby, who is in the foes group, which is not a surprise to me. There is no secret about how she pissed people off last round.
So what we're gonna do is announce who the 3 are.
So I put on my smile, I put on my invisible tiara, and I'm ready to be crowned Miss Congeniality as one of the top 3 friends, because of course I'm leading this game.
Matt and CJ, you are both in the top friends.
Oh, thank you!
I'm not happy about being a friend. It's great to know that, the alliances I have, clearly people believe in them and, have reported that in their survey. But it's never great to be up for elimination, to be anywhere close to up for elimination in this game. So I'm definitely nervous.
So you will be nominees for the round. You can leave your cameras on.
It's frustrating for me to see CJ up there as one of the top friends because I feel like I've seen a side of her that is a lot less friendly.
Sheridan, Trishti, and Zach, one of you also made it into the top 3. The last friend to join the friend group is Zach, meaning Sheridan and Trishti, you can turn off your cameras. You are not nominees.
I am so glad to be safe. This is probably one of the first times I've ever been glad to not be the most liked person in a room.
It definitely takes a lot of the pressure off. I did not go into this round wanting to fight for my life, so I'm feeling pretty easy right now.
As I said, Zach, CJ, and Matt, you are the 3 top friends. How are you feeling about these results? Does this come as a surprise? Does it feel obvious? Walk me through kind of what's going through your head right now.
I've made a lot of connections with people, and if people answered this survey truthfully to how they feel, it only makes sense that I'm in the top friends group. I think that we're all playing pretty much very honest games and open games, and I think that it works to your advantage to have friends, but also it could not work to your advantage to have as many friends as you do. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I'm a little bit surprised to see Zach at first, just because I haven't personally talked with him as much, even though we're in this alliance together.
I think that he must be talking to way more people than I had originally thought.
I've been partnering with him, but I think that shows that he also has a lot of other partnerships that I am not privy to. So I think he's probably feeling a little bit exposed right now.
As I said, you will be the 3 friend nominees. You can turn your videos off now, and now we're going to do the opposite. If I didn't call your name the first time, please turn your camera on. Emily, Finley, Erica, Greta, Jessie, and Gabby. By a quick show of hands, does anyone think they are in the top 3?
I am so certain that it's me, Jessie, and Greta. We are so disliked. Me less so, I feel, than Jessie and Greta. I think I have avoided drama in a way that they haven't.
Jessie does, Erica does, Greta does. Emily thinks maybe. Gabby and Finn, I didn't see your hands. You think you're good? Gabby maybe, Finn maybe. Okay.
I even have a suspicion that I might be one of the foes for this round, but I don't want to display that because if I don't end up in the foes group, I don't want to signal to my allies that I don't trust them.
Finn, you are safe. You can turn off your camera.
I know I said I wasn't expecting me a top 3 foe, but you really never know in this game. Things have been getting absolutely crazy, and maybe people have been gunning for me the whole time. So I'm relieved when I get to turn my camera off.
Greta, you are a foe. You can leave your camera on.
Yeah, that seems about right.
This leaves Emily, Erica, Jessie, and Gabby. 2 of you will be nominees. Erica, Emily. You are not in the top 3. You can turn your cameras off.
I just don't believe it. I do not believe that Gabby is more of a target than I am. I am shocked.
This means Greta, Jessie, and Gabby, the 3 of you are our top foes and will be nominated this round.
Oh, this is my shocked face.
Those are certainly the people that I ranked among my top foes.
They definitely did not make any friends in the last round, with Greta making a really public move to save Jessie. Jessie was the target in the last round, and Gabby is highly suspected of being a double agent. So I'm not surprised to see them there, but Gabby seems really surprised.
How are you all feeling? Does this come as a surprise to anyone?
It surprises me a little bit. I feel like I had some allies and was starting to make some good relationships, and it hurts to see me down here like this. It hurts me.
I thought she was way more connected to the other side of the game. I'm happy that Erica isn't there since she's my closest ally and I'd hate to have to compete against her for safety in the game. But it's a shame because Gabby and Greta are both good allies of mine too.
After my extremely close call last round, I am in no way surprised that I am a target. Thank you.
Yeah, timing-wise, rash decisions did not really pay off for this ranking, I would assume. I mean, who knows if I would have been a foe otherwise, but I think I did not make friends last week, so not surprised to be here either.
By Greta kind of taking our side in one way or another, it's definitely alienated her from everyone else, and now I feel like going into this, Greta is the main target.
Similarly to last season, instead of voting for a singular person to eliminate, you will vote to save a set of nominees, either the friends or the foes. The group with the most votes will be safe, and the other will be up for elimination. The trio up for elimination will compete in a competition, which will decide who is out of the game. In any normal round, most of you would probably be inclined to choose your friends over your foes. But as you may already know from last season, this fight or flight choice may change that, as you can choose to fight for your friends by criminalizing yourself, or abandon them by helping your foes. In order to vote to save the friends group, you must volunteer to have your survey results shared with the group. That means after the voting ceremony, you will stand in front of the group and read your choices out one by one. On the other hand, if you wish to flight, therefore voting to save the foes, you can keep your survey responses a secret. In addition, if you choose to flight for the foes, you will receive 1 extra boarding buck. As you know, these boarding bucks will become very important by the end of the game, so it certainly doesn't hurt to start accruing them now.
If you vote to save the friends, you have to reveal all of your survey results, which can be a big blow to your game. But if you vote to save the foes, you get a boarding buck and you don't have to share your survey results. To me, that feels like the fun strategic decision.
I am just hoping that everyone in my alliance is truthful as they've said to be, because I'm going to need to convince all of them to be willing to share their survey results.
I'm starting to think that this game is really smart. It's a really good way to expose alliances early on in the game and kind of break up all of those blocks by really showing how people feel about each other, or getting people to lie about who they like.
Good luck, everyone.
It's in a lot of people's best interest to vote friend. But, you know, we could have a couple people who flip, and I think that's what the foes are hoping for. We can convince people in our deliberation session.
I'm feeling like we can get the votes to swing the vote towards foes. We've got 11 players, so you need 6 votes one way or the other to save a side. I know that the 3 foes are all going to save themselves. It's the easy choice.
I have no problem with being very open with you both and telling you that I'm voting for the foes. I'm voting for the foes. It's so obvious to me that there's no thinking involved here. I have to vote foes.
I know I just need to swing 2 more people to my side, and then the foes are safe.
I create a group called Real Eyes, Real Eyes, Real Lies. And it's basically a group of everyone who got fucked over last round by Greta, Gabby, Jessie, and Erica. I just wanted to get us together to chat. Obviously, being up for elimination, I'm gonna politic for myself. I recognize that folks might be wary to share their results just for fear of hurting folks' feelings, but I don't think anyone's results would be very surprising. not a hard sell. People are really pissed off about how the last round shook out, and folks are ready to vote for the foes to be up for elimination.
I mean, I'm with y'all.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been team friends since day one, so nothing changes for me. I have no secrets to hide with my ranking. I don't think it would offend anyone on the friends side how I ranked people. So I'm feeling fine about sticking with friends and revealing my rankings.
I have two priorities. One, not to piss more people off. It's too early to do that. And then two, to figure out how much danger I put myself in if I go with friends and then have to read out my survey results. I think we all have somebody on our survey that like we're concerned if we read it out loud that it would put a target on us. I am willing to say like right now what I'm concerned about, and then the expectation is like in sharing that with y'all, if there is blowback on that, like we're still rock solid.
I agree, and I will do the same.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
People seem to be really receptive to that. Cool. I ranked Gabby in my top 2 foes, and I'm concerned about reading it out because it will give away that I am suspicious of Gabby.
I let Emily and Finn know that it was a toss-up between the two of them for my 5th ally or 5th target. But like, I want you to know that like, that is not at all. Like, I rock with both of you very hard. And everyone kind of agrees that at a certain point they had to do that for someone as well.
Zach, you were in that spot for me of just because like that was, I had to put somebody there, but it means nothing. It's just that we had to. Of course.
Mine doesn't even mean anything. And that was my goal going into a survey, was to spread votes out so that it didn't matter who, like, whatever. And that was my intentions with the way that I vote. I don't even know how I voted.
I'm really feeling safe with this group because of the history of voting that we've all had. We've all voted together. We've all been so far truthful. So the vote should go as I planned once again. There's clearly 2 sides. There's 4 people talking in one group right now, 7 people on the other. And I bet in maybe a couple minutes, they'll start reaching out to try to sway.
I already have a message as well. So
Shrishti, Finn, and Emily are being reached out to by some of the people that are up for elimination, like Greta, Jesse, and Gabby. They have specifically reached out to the 3 of you because they think you're swingable. And their goal is to try to swing you.
I am gonna jump into one of these other calls just to see what other people are talking about, but I'm gonna vote. It's gonna happen. So
have fun.
We all agree that they should talk to them, see what's going on, at least hear them out on, what their plea is. But, everyone seems pretty resolved that they're gonna vote to save the friends.
And Jesse is basically just fighting for his life, which I can't really expect anything else, but Jesse did save me last round, so I feel like I owe him the chance to hear him out. It does look like the friend group is going to get saved just based on like the big call they started right away. He seems distraught about it, and I get it. I would probably be distraught if I were up for elimination too.
Is there a world where your vote could potentially be swayed? It seems like there are so many arguments in favor of voting the foes. You get a boarding buck, you don't have to reveal your survey results, and you eliminate a big popular target in this game who's well-connected. I just don't see why someone would vote the other way.
If it looked like the numbers could be with you guys, I could be swayed. I will say having Greta in that group is a killer for me.
Yeah, that tanks it a little.
Green team. If you think that you could get the numbers behind you, I would definitely be interested to know that, because look, if it's going to go a certain way, I'd love to get a boarding buck out of it. Obviously, I know the benefits of keeping the friends safe. That's going to be the bigger group. That's going to give me more alliances, more connections, and more numbers. But it does mean I would have to reveal my rankings. And it seems like Jesse is doing everything he can to recruit people to the foe side. And if it's going to go that way anyway, wouldn't hurt to have another boarding buck in my pocket.
If there's any, inkling to like potentially flip, like I would love to kind of explore that with you now.
She says pretty clearly that she wants me to flip and start voting for the foes. The way in which I could be most helpful to you is by not betraying people just yet. The choices are very public. Even if you don't read out who's on your survey, that becomes a choice. It doesn't make any sense for me to torch those relationships and then flip to another alliance where all of a sudden I'm the least powerful and the least in the know person in that group. I enjoy playing with you, and I think it's been really fun, and I will do the best of my ability to keep you in this game, especially because I think, and this is double honest, there are other players now that have outed themselves as a bigger threat than you.
Talking to her, it becomes very clear that she's gonna stay on Friends. I thank her for just wanting to continue to work for me.
To your point, I kind of did that a little bit too early, ultimately. So that was like, it honestly lacked tact, but I definitely appreciate and support that you're working a little bit more tactfully. As long as I'm here, let me know like how I can support that. And I do appreciate just like wanting to continue to work together.
So I'm just hoping that she's being truthful, and unfortunately a little bit disappointed that we don't have a phone number in her.
I think if the foes go down into the elimination round, it will not be either Jessie or Greta that goes out, it will be me. Greta has done well in not one but two competitions, and even though the competition with Jessie was small, he won over a pretty wide margin between at least myself. I think it's like important to remember too that like all of us were kind of voted top targets. They also ended up closer to the foe side of the rankings than the friends. And I hope that if I leverage that information, that they might want to flip and vote with the foes in order to keep our numbers strong. Like, who do you think you're the targets of? Right. All the other people on the other side, unfortunately, that were not in those rankings in the same way.
Right. Yeah. Gabby makes an interesting point that it could have been the friends who tanked me in their surveys, and that's why I was almost named a foe. Considering that I've been towards kind of part of that, I don't know, bottom group last week in the wake of Greta's rash decision, I'm actually kind of surprised that I wasn't a top foe, to be completely honest.
Right. So it's like, you could have been with us either way. And I know that you are like, Greta definitely like messed up the train for you and Finn, but honestly, like, Matt could have picked either of you two at the start of Green as well, but chose to pick Sheridan. So just like other food for thought.
Right. I consider that for a second, but I'm honestly thinking that it was the people who did end up getting named foes that had me tanked on their surveys.
I can definitely read a lot of hesitancy on their face to break away from the group. Just because Greta has been so villainized from breaking away from the group last week, I think that it's making it even harder to persuade people to vote for the foes in a vote that is not anonymous.
Hey.
Is this a steal a vote moment?
I don't know if it is. I just don't.
To use the steal a vote, we need to be confident we have at least 5 votes. So that means one more than the group that we know are voting. So we really have to sway one person. Then using the steal a vote will put the vote over towards the friends, and they'll be up for elimination, saving the 3 of us.
I think given that the vote is not the end all be all. Like,
yes.
You and I can fight out and like hopefully send Gabby home if it comes to that.
She's pretty confident that she'll lose against both of you, is what she told me.
Okay.
I think that the impact it could have would come better later, and I honestly want to use it to eliminate someone rather than save someone at this point. So for me, I'm pretty confident I don't want to deploy it, and it kind of feels good to have it in my hands because I get to control ultimately whether or not we use it.
I'm going to start with the friends. How did it feel to be in the top friends of the group?
Honestly, I felt good, and I forgot that there was any point where I wouldn't be safe. So I was kind of sad.
When this game is all said and done, we could all go out and buy each other drinks and, you know, have a fun time being all friends. I genuinely like each and every one of you. So, yeah.
I'm going to throw it over to the foes now. Obviously, you found out the opposite news. You found out that you are amongst the top 3 foes of the group. You know, this came more as a shock to others than others. But what's going through your head having this information?
I'm not surprised that I am like, a big target. I'm like the foe now, but there's something about being on the foe side and trying to get people to vote for the foe side that just feels like you're being forced to be a villain. Like, I don't feel like a villain in this game. I haven't like been lying or backstabbing, but I have become a target. And so separating target from like a villain has been a weird crisis of self to have.
Yeah, I feel unliked, actually. I know that Zach said that he genuinely likes everyone in this game, but I felt unliked. It was hard to get people to talk. Being labeled as a foe, it didn't feel good because especially even some of the friends that have ended up on that side, clearly they didn't feel the same way about me. And that makes me very sad. But I think at this point, it really has become an individual game and people should make moves that will let them win personally. So my only pitch to everyone who is voting tonight is vote what is in your interest.
All of the big friend groups went home before the final last season. We have history.
Yeah, I didn't even watch season 1, so I don't really care what the trend is. Also, there's just one season. This is season 2, so who cares if that one data point shows that the friends went home? Like, that's just not statistically significant in my mind.
We have our friends, we have our foes, we also have the people who are kind of in the in-between, and that's probably where the vote lies. So to you voters who are in the middle, how are you balancing the pros of friends and the pros of foes?
I think some of us have easier decisions tonight than others amongst us. And I think it'll be just really interesting to see where people's loyalties lie, especially for some of the people who are more in the middle, who haven't necessarily made their alliances and friendships as clear so far in this game.
This is undoubtedly a decision with a lot of pros and cons. And so at the end of the day, totally it's about doing what's best for you and doing what's best for your longevity in the game. I respect the hell out of everybody on the friend side and the foe side. And at the end of the day, I hope I continue to get to play with as many of you as possible. But yeah, totally, like was mentioned, it's very much about what is right for you as the player in the game.
This awkward silence is killing me. I mean, it's so clear that there are so many emotions boiling just below the surface, but everyone is trying to keep composed, keep it cool, keep it nice. Yeah, this ain't gonna last.
I'm feeling super uncomfortable. Nobody is saying anything. I try to break the silence for the benefit of everyone, including myself.
I'll add to that. I believe that a big part of this game relies on building trust, and that's hard when you're second guessing yourself and you are paranoid. But at the end of the day, that trust is built the more you converse with people and grow those relationships. And at this point, the only people I can trust are those I've had conversations with. And I'm sure for all of us that will change as we continue to go through this game. But it makes my vote tonight easy.
I really don't think that the foe side is going to trust me at all, and they made no effort to talk to me or try to convince me, so I think they believe that I'm pretty much a lost cause at this point.
Does anyone else feel like their vote is pretty easy tonight? Just a show of hands, do you feel the vote is easy tonight for you? What makes this a difficult decision?
Look, I think in some versions of the lineup, it might have been easier and some it might have been more difficult. I think there are people on friends that I would hate to see go home, and there are people on foes that I would hate to see stay. There's just, had I chosen the groups, it would have been an easier decision, but I think you just have to go based on the information that you've been given, and you can't try and guess at people's reasonings for things, and you just have to operate under what they've told you and what you've seen them do. I think my mind's made up, but I've had some moments of consideration at times, so I wouldn't call it easy. I'm noticing some confusion and some stank faces on both sides, on friends and foes. And it seems like some people have a problem.
Yeah. Can I make one more pitch? To point something out. I know that everyone is talking about relationships and whatnot, and I do agree with Sheridan that that's absolutely important. And the one thing that I would urge people, especially who fall in the middle, is that if you were a friend, would you feel as comfortable as they say they feel right now? Their comfort in this round is just showing that they have the game in the bag and that anybody that isn't one of the friends is an underdog.
Since we now have time to make pleas, I'd like to do a little callback to a comment about season 1 and how you have to play in your self-interest and all the friends went home. As someone who was there, the friends went home because of a self-interested act that backfired on the person who tried to be self-interested. It backfired on them because they weren't as tight-knit into that alliance. So I think that at the end of the day, the people who are honest with you are the people that you can trust, and the people who are in it for themselves are in it for themselves.
But she won the season.
Jasmine did not win the season. Jasmine betrayed her alliance and then went home immediately after. That's what I'm referencing.
So what I'm getting from your comment is that when you're doing self-centered actions, especially maybe earlier in the game, that will lead to consequences later on.
It's so funny hearing the old players act like they know more about the game just because they were on it, because I feel like so much of the game was hidden to people who were playing it in the moment. Watching it back, I don't think CJ or Matt really knew what was going on, so it feels like a bit of a high horse to be coming down on.
Yeah, I'm a 3rd degree black belt. Like, I'm trying to channel my, like, instructors of being, like, show balance, stability, like, but I can't do any of that. I gotta pop the fuck off. Bam! And also, I just want to say, we may be from season 1, but this is season 2. So, Jesse, it's not going to go how season 1 went, because this is season 2.
Thank God, I'd love to see her ass go home.
Oh, it's not, baby.
Shade starts being thrown out left and right, and it starts to get tense.
That wasn't really like a good comeback, because he went home last season, so if it's not going to be like that, he wouldn't go. Okay, Jesse. Clearly emotions are starting to run high, and Jesse doesn't seem to be good when he's in hot water.
A big facet of this game is community, and I think if we forget about community, then you're alone. And like, I saw myself alone last season, and where did it bring me? I was the 3rd person out. So
you're
like,
in it, though, Matt, until you're not. And I very much feel that right now. I
Okay.
thought I had community in this game until you're the person that's being ousted. And that is just a reality of this game. Someone will go home every week. At some point, you will no longer be a part of the community.
And I also think too, like, morals play a point in it. Even though this is a game, I get it, we backstab, we lie. However, like, when we're early in the game establishing those relationships, when we hear that like something is completely false to our face, like, we know it's a game, but that's still hurtful. And that's something that people will take with them through this game, through their jury decision if they're on jury.
I feel unclear about that, what you just said, Matt. Could you shed some light about that?
Yeah, I just think people have been flip-flopping, and maybe you think you're playing a good game to get you forward, but you do not have people by your side. So what's the end game in that?
Could you be specific about who you're talking about?
Yeah, you. Like, I've just heard that, like, I heard from last time that like you went against the entire vote. You went against the entire red team for self-gain. I heard boarding bucks were in it. I heard there was a like.
I can say that none of that is true, Matt. I've never told anyone a lie in this game, and I will repeat that now. I've never told a lie. If you had all these concerns before, why didn't you just say it in our conversation after the round?
Well, I still got you back, and
Thank you.
I hope you got mine.
I feel like Gabby is totally in the right here. She's been playing the game perfectly fine. She's been perfectly nice and kind to everyone. So why is she getting this hate?
I think Gabby is getting a lot of heat here for stuff that she did not do. And you know what? I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory because clearly, like, the vote is going one way. As much as people think Greta is the person that they want out of this game, I am here to tell you that CJ is the person that you need to get out of this game immediately. Yes, she is the top friend because people think that they're working closely with her. Yet she is screwing people over, spreading lies about what happened, and saying names and telling stories about shit that did not go down. Yes, CJ, I am speaking specifically about last week, you spreading my name about what happened during the later group, and you come back with a vendetta and you tell me to my face that you are working with me and things are great, and then you spread my name around and manipulate people to get them to try to push me off the chain, so I'm having to fight for my life. And so all this to say, if you are in the middle and you need to be swayed because you think, oh, get rid of one of the foes, I'd hate to see them stay in the game, I'm here to tell you what is in your best interest is to vote for the friends. CJ loses the competition and goes home.
Oh, all right. Okay, let's get into it.
I'm gonna just cut in because.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Greta. No, there's no way I'm gonna be addressed and not get a chance to respond.
That's fine.
I am so pissed that he would throw my name out like that and try to make it seem like I'm some double agent playing both sides. You're literally just trying to divert attention away from Gabby and away from the fact that you're gonna be up for elimination tonight. Like, get over it. Clearly, you have a lot of feelings toward me and how you feel like I'm playing this game. Jesse, first of all, you and I have never worked closely in this game. Let's start there. We, have pinged back and forth about, let's chat. We've actually missed each other every time. We've never schemed together. In fact, the only time that I've ever schemed with Jesse was when you and Gabby dragged me into a chat to say, we're gonna pretend like we're enemies to everyone, but we're actually gonna work together. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because because you guys say we're the only three that know what happened. We remember this conversation, right? And then did I work with you guys again after that? Right, no, I didn't. Okay, so I just want to clarify a couple things if people feel like everyone knows where my game is. To be honest with you, all the chats that I'm in are fairly large, and maybe that'll backfire against me later in the game, but at least people know where I stand, and every conversation I'm having is out in the open. I don't feel the need to get into tiny little groups and pretend that I'm gonna lie to people and backstab them. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to shed light on that. I appreciate it.
She takes the truth and frames it in just a way that it makes her look good and me look terrible.
It does hurt me that you kind of twisted this thing that happened in this group. And it was really only a move because I was feeling on the outs because I hadn't gotten to talk to anybody else that round to just kind of minimize my target a little bit. And the fact that you've turned that into something malicious does hurt me because I really do respect you as a player and I like you a lot as a person. And if people feel the need to vote on what they think that sucks for me, I guess, but that is not the intention of that move. There is nothing backstabby going on or secretive. I have only ever told people when they've asked me direct questions the truth, and I think overall, I'm sorry, is that funny?
Who the fuck are you, the Riddler? We have to figure out exactly the right way to talk to you in order to get what's actually going on out of you. That's ridiculous. That's something that you do when you're being shady and you're lying to people. The phrase, when people ask me direct questions, I only tell them the truth. Yeah. Truth by omission is a lie. Just so you know. So when you're playing both sides and when you're chatting with as many people as you can to protect yourself as much as you can and minimize your targets as much as you can, people start to talk to each other and things do backfire. It's out there, it's in the open. We're calling you on your bullshit. If you didn't want to be hurt by it, you shouldn't have done it.
I really don't think that I necessarily omitted anything. And again, she would know that if she had come to talk to me.
For me, every conversation that I've had with anybody in terms of getting to know that, it has been authentic for me. And you can either believe that or not. That's up to you.
The way Gabby is speaking makes me really believe that maybe she is innocent. Maybe there's been some miscommunication.
I think ultimately it feels like this conversation has just revealed that the relationships and the connections in the group are a lot more complicated. So I think that if your mind was not just made up by kind of all of that ensued, think about maybe moving forward. Are there relationships that you'd want to save from either group and maybe act in that? And that's kind of a combination of the community as well as the self-interest. So that's the only thing I'll say. It feels like there's been just a lot that just happened.
Poor Greta is just there, accepting her fate that she is now going to be up for elimination because the two people on the chopping block with her have kind of fucked that up for her.
I feel like this season, the foes are the ones who would be pretty shameless in sharing their survey results. And so, in a weird way, if that was the penalty I had to pay to be able to vote for the foes, gladly, not even a question.
Okay, share it.
Okay. Like, if we want to do that.
And all the foes should share it. If none of the foes are afraid to share it.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm making a strategic choice where I don't have to do that. I totally would if anyone reminds me what my votes were. I'll tell you that CJ was my biggest target. That was a candid freebie. The people who vote friends are going to hear who the top friends listed as their closest allies, and the people in the middle are going to be upset by it. And so the funny twist of it all is the surveys that have the most potential to hurt are the ones that are shared by the friends, because then you're going to realize that you're not as close with the people you thought you were close with.
I wanted to make it known to everyone before I even voted that my survey was complete bullshit. That way nobody can really get offended with where I put them, and it would actually make sense to a lot of people. We're also all assuming that everybody answered this survey 100%. You can lie on your survey. You didn't need to 100% put who you think fit in each category. And I think that if you play an intelligent game, maybe you would have done that.
Do you think you're playing an intelligent game, Zach?
It's very clear that he is saying, I have lied on my survey, which I guess is fine, but also very obvious. So I just decided to poke fun at him because I am also probably someone he lied about.
Greta, no comment. I think that I'm playing a hell of a lot more intelligent game than you are. I'm on friend's side, you're on foes, so watch it.
I can see I ruffled his feathers or maybe irked him a bit, but it's all in good fun.
The other element of this is the boarding buck. Just in general, how are people tracking boarding bucks in this game?
Well, I can honestly say I'm tracking them terribly. In the end, like, our relationships will really play key into it, and so I'm not really too worried about it right now.
Because I was eliminated, I had to start back at 0 where other players might not have had to. So it definitely is on my mind, but so far, in my opinion, the opportunities to get boarding bucks have required you to backstab in some way, and that just hasn't necessarily been the way that I've wanted to go.
Relationships are still the more valuable currency at this stage. Maybe that'll flip, but there's a clear hierarchy right now.
In terms of who goes out where, that also decides the trajectory of where the boarding bucks go in this game, right? If it is going to be this very specific top-down alliance boot order, you end up seeing that the people who are kind of fighting for their lives in this game might end up receiving bucks through relationships that way. So that's also something to keep in mind.
You can get a free boarding buck this round from voting for foe. That feels like the biggest bargain in the world, and the fact that people aren't interested in pursuing that baffles me.
It is shocking to me to hear that people have not been thinking about boarding bucks, and not strategizing around that. I guess part of the funny thing is the people who have gone home so far have primarily been from the artist formerly known as Blue Team, so I don't think those boarding bucks have spread very far, and so maybe people have not been in circles where those come and play as much. I will say, as an artist formerly of the Blue Team, I have had boarding bucks, and I did purchase a Steal a Vote with it. And so, to those who are in the middle and wondering whether to make a self-interested choice and get yourself a boarding buck tonight, know that there is a Steal a Vote in play, and if the numbers swing by 2, as a Steal a Vote does, the vote will go in favor of the foes regardless. Make the self-interested choice, get yourself a boarding buck, because it is a done deal here.
Hopefully it's a 1-2 punch that gets the people in the middle to cut their losses, get the free boarding buck, and save the foes.
I guess I'll just add to that and say that not everyone in the blue team decided to keep their boarding bucks on the blue team. Some people on the blue team may have felt ostracized and distrusted. And I think that goes into sort of, again, building those relationships, not just within the colors that we established at the beginning of this game, but of who we respect. I mean, I think if given the chance to spend time with all of you, I definitely would grow to respect you and trust you. But at the end of the day, it's just the time that you spend with someone. And I think that, yeah, there was that color alliance at the beginning, but not everybody felt that they were protected within their color.
People on his team just didn't trust him, didn't feel respected by him, felt ostracized by him, and maybe that's not an alliance that they want to make for themselves. It certainly wasn't an alliance that Laura felt comfortable with.
You got Laura's boarding bucks, and if you tried buying the steal vote with it, you would find that it's no longer available.
Did I laugh or I rolled my eyes or something? Because I knew.
Jesse offered steal a vote to Greta. Greta now has steal a vote.
We all knew about your power like a long time ago, so it's nothing big that you're talking about. And I'm sad to see that you're sinking your game tonight and like really throwing out a lot, because like even though we seem really divided tonight, I'm going into like how can we unify? There are like a lot of blood that has been sprayed tonight, and the last time, like how can we patch this up for the end of the competition? And like we're not in Whoville singing Dahu Dores, but it's not endgame with specific people. I'm not thinking like all of us. I think we're not thinking, oh, this person, it's endgame, I'm not talking to them anymore. Like I think everyone still has a really fighting shot in this, but I think we should be careful on what we say, including myself, because even small things that we say in these big Zooms can affect the smaller alliances that are created afterwards.
Zach in particular has been in a really interesting position where he knows all of my deepest secrets in this game. And if he chose to share them with someone else, he totally could have.
Is there anything left to say before we go to the vote? Please send me your votes now. Remember, you are either voting for friend or foe.
As we're voting, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, what is the competition for the foes going to be?
The group that you have decided to save this round is friends. I'm sorry, foes, but that means Gabby, Jesse, or Greta, one of you will be eliminated from the game.
I could have seen this coming, especially with the way that Jesse was going really hard in the elimination ceremony.
I really don't want Jesse, Gabby, or Greta going home. So at this point, I'm just sad. I'm just sad.
If you voted for friend this round, keep your cameras on. And if you voted for foe, turn your cameras off.
I'm really happy that everyone stuck to their word. And, you know, clearly people were really pissed off by everything that happened last round and this round.
Zach, you're up first.
So, everyone, start fucking writing. CJ, ally. Second ally, Finley. Third ally, Tristy. Fourth ally, Erica. Fifth ally, Matt.
Zach, you put me number 5! How dare you?
I am surprised that Zach had Erica so high on his friends list, but then I remember he said his strategy was to put everyone in a random position because he knew that the people in the top spots on either side were going to be targeted.
Targets. First target, Greta. Second, Jesse. Third, Gabby. Fourth, Emily. Fifth, Sheridan.
He rated me an enemy, and I rated him my top ally. From the start, I have not trusted Zach at all, and so it wasn't that much of a surprise, but it still stung a little bit. First ally is Matt, my second ally is Zach, my third ally is CJ, my fourth ally is Tristy, my fifth ally is Emily, my first target is Greta, my second target is Erica, my third target is Gabby, my fourth target is Finley, my fifth target is Jesse.
I am a little bit nervous because I put Shrishti as my top ally. So people are definitely going to know that she and I are working together. My top ally is Shrishti. My second ally is Matt. My third ally is Zach. My fourth ally is Sheridan. My fifth ally is Emily. My top target is Greta. My second target is Gabby. My third target is Jesse. My fourth target is Erica. And my fifth target is Finley. Shrishti also puts me as her top ally.
My top ally is CJ, my second is Sheridan, my third is Zach, my fourth is Greta, my fifth is Matt. I totally forgot that I had written in Greta as an ally. I think, if I'm being honest, that is true. If I had definitely known that I would have to say that, I probably wouldn't have done that. My top target is Jesse, my second is Erica, my third is Gabby, my fourth is Emily, and my fifth is Finley.
My top ally is Emily, my second ally is Matt, my third ally is Jesse, my fourth ally is CJ, my fifth ally is Tristy. I ranked Jesse pretty high last round because Jesse saved me. And now as I'm reading this out loud, I feel embarrassed that I ever trusted that crazy son of a bitch.
My top target is Greta, my second target is Erica, my third target is Zach, my fourth target is Gabby, and my fifth target is Sheridan.
My top ally is Sheridan, second is Zach, third is CJ, fourth is Finley, and fifth is Gabby.
I think I'm surprised to see Zach above CJ in Matt's allies. And I'm wondering all around what everybody's personal opinions of CJ are right now.
My first target is Greta, my second Erica, then Jessie, then Tristy, then Emily.
My top ally is Finn, my second ally is Matt, third is Sheridan, fourth is CJ, fifth is Shrishti.
They rated me more highly than I thought they would, and I was really pleased about that because there's an opportunity there for me to talk to Emily more.
Targets, first is Greta, second is Erica, third is Jessie, fourth is Zach, and fifth is Gabby.
So those are the results.
I was not as big a target as I thought I was. I maybe shot myself in the foot blowing up here. I thought I was enemy number 2, second only to Greta. But it was actually a lot closer than that. I need to get myself ready for this comp because this is life or death for me in this game.
So that went about exactly as well as I thought it would. Things got really heated and emotions were running really high. I don't know where people's heads are at fully. I feel like I do because the vote went well, but you never know how people are processing the information. Jessie turning like weirdly like evil villain and if you do this, we're gonna do this and we're gonna swing like.
Yeah, if I wasn't 100% sure that I'm fine with any of the foes going home before, then I am now. I'd be happy for any one of these motherfuckers to go home. They're all slimy, they're all backstabbers, and Jessie is just fucking crazy.
Very quickly, guys, I just want to say, thank you so much. Gabby tried to call me, so I really have to talk about that. Thank you. And if you were seen at a not valuable place on my list, and a lot of it I randomized, and I'm not trying to be bullshitty, that's true. Even though our results look like this, we're all hopefully still friends.
Things just get misconstrued. I'm just very disappointed people thought that about me, that I was really trying to snake people.
It just really sucks, and I would really like to continue, and I'm sorry that I was swayed by that. And then I have to do some Nancy Drew work myself. I'm going to start making these relationships with my enemies so they don't vote me out when the time comes, and then I'll still continue my relationships with OG Alliance members, so I just hopefully stay safe through this game. So I'm hoping the best for you, and I'm really hoping we can chat next round.
As it comes to the competition, I'm not feeling optimistic. There's a 1 in 3 chance that I'm going home. And the last time that this happened to me, I didn't exactly perform well.
I'm sorry as a human being. I'm serious. That was a lot, and you did not deserve that. Ultimately, I agree a lot with what Jessie said in that CJ is a person to beat in this game, but the way it came out and some of the connotations were vicious.
Tensions were high. I'm a tough girl. It's totally fine. I get it. He fell under the wire and backed into a corner. And tensions get high when you're talking about backstabbing and whatever. It's all in the game. I appreciate you reaching out like this, though. That's really sweet. Yeah. After Greta reaching out, I definitely have a softer spot for her. So I'm mostly just hoping that Jessie or Gabby will go, and the odds are in my favor.
This competition is a simple game of memory. Each turn, you will flip over 2 cards to see if they are a match. If they are, you score a point. But be warned, some cards may not have a match. Unlike other versions of this game you may have played, you will not be able to guess again after scoring a point, meaning we will continue in rotation regardless of if someone scores. To win safety, you must get 5 correct matches. The person left standing without the 5 matches will be eliminated from the game. Additionally, there is a small temptation in here. Hidden among the cards are a pair with boarding buck symbols. This pair will not count as a match, but should you reveal it, you will earn 1 boarding buck.
I know I've got a good memory, and frankly, I assume Gabby and Greta do too. I think a lot of this game is going to come down to luck, and maybe an added layer of strategy.
I am so nervous going into this, but I do feel like of all the competitions it could have been, I am grateful that it's a memory competition because I think my memory is decent.
Your order is as follows. We will be going Greta, Jessie, Gabby.
So I'm first to start. So I select 2 random squares.
A7 and C3.
They're not a match, unsurprisingly.
A6 and A5.
So as I'm about to turn over my first set of cards, I just am seeing these 2 cards and they're calling my name. I don't know what it is about these 2 cards.
I'm gonna go A1 and C6.
That's a match.
Wow, good job.
I have like this just exhale of relief.
C4. Oh, it's me. B5.
Not a match.
D5 and D2.
We eventually start getting to a place where we do start seeing doubles.
C1.
So that is where the memory piece comes in.
D5.
That is a match. Score currently is 1 point Gabby, 1 point Greta.
Let's go B8 and A8.
Not a match.
Not again.
I'm gonna go B5, C5.
Not a match.
Okay, so C5,
Yes.
D8.
That is correct. Greta, you have 2 matches.
C2 and A4.
Not a match.
A4, D6.
That is correct. Gabby, that is a match. We are 2 points Gabby, 2 points Greta, 0 Jessie.
Get the second pair, and I think to myself, just keep this going.
B5. Oh no, did we already do that one? Shoot. Oh gosh. D1.
That is a match.
Oh, that's really lucky.
Yeah.
A3.
I'm guessing a card, and if it's not right, I'm guessing a second random card.
A2.
And each time it seems like the second card I reveal is one that's already been shown before.
A2. And then A7, please.
That is a match.
Slowly but surely, Gabby and I start to pull ahead. This is when I start feeling really good about my chances.
I have not found a single match. This is infuriating.
C8. A8.
That is correct. Greta, you are at 4 points.
Woohoo! We're on a roll.
Again? Are you kidding me?
B4. Let's go C7.
That is incorrect.
Fuck me.
I'm blowing this.
Let's see. B7. Yes. A3.
That is correct. Gabby, that is another match. You are also at 4 points.
I am losing my mind right now. Still at 0. It's 4 to 4 to 0. This is embarrassing.
A5. Shoot. A6.
Not a match.
Let's do B6.
Jesse makes his pick right before I do, and he turns over a card that I know where the other one is.
All right. B3.
Not a match.
Cheers.
He gets it wrong, and I remember where the match to this card is, and I know that I'm going to win.
B6.
Great.
C3.
That is a match. Gabby, congratulations. You have won safety.
I am so relieved that I have just secured myself safety in this competition.
C2. B3.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Greta. You have won safety. I'm sorry, Jesse, but you have been eliminated.
Oh my god, that is such a relief. I'm so happy to be in it another round. I am glad I have an okay memory. I'm glad I had a better memory than Jesse.
The odds apparently were not on my side tonight. I was the big bad villain this round, and I guess I'm going home. Congrats, Greta and Gabby.
Blaze of glory, like I said.
Jesse says he went out in a blaze of glory, and I would say it was more like an uncontrollable grease fire.
I don't have more words that I should say beyond what I said during deliberation. I will apologize for getting heated. That was out of character. Though I do stand by what I said, I will also say the amount of bullying that has gone on this round is fucking high, to the point that it's beyond what is acceptable in a game, in my opinion, which I believe was why I got a little bit heated.
Target people because they're playing a game that's threatening to yours. Don't target them because you think they're a dirty, rotten liar and a terrible person.
So keep it classy, and go out in a blaze of glory. Bye, y'all.
I'm just so confused and so shocked, because is this not the same guy who was just threatening to send my ass home? Is this not the same guy who was just threatening to use his steal a vote to fuck us all over? Now all of a sudden it's bullying because you've gone home? Dude, get over yourself.
Jesse, you put up a great fight, but it's time for you to flight. You will be the first member of the jury.
Made it to jury.
Even though this round was not my finest moment, I'm still proud of the game I played. From day one, I was playing big strategy and playing from the bottom. I've been the underdog for most of this game. I've been a target for reasons that I don't get, but I've managed to survive and make it to jury.
Jesse, I love you so much. I'm going to miss you so fucking much. You've been my closest ally since day one. I'm so thankful to have had you by my side throughout this competition, and honestly, I can't wait to hang out with you when all of this is over.
I really respect your desire to lay everything out on the table as you left, and it was pretty helpful for me, but telling somebody that you'd love to see their ass go home when you know you're in danger is a really bad move, and unfortunately, I think the universe just decided to play itself out tonight.
Jesse, buddy, I felt like we could have had some real connection. I really don't know what happened at the end there, but I wish you all the best. Maybe don't play these games anymore. Bye, Jesse.
Goodbye, girl. Bye. Bye. Go home to Noah. Tell Noah how you lost and did worse than he did.
I'm so stressed out. I was sure that I was going out, but here we are. I've been playing a really risky game so far, and that usually is not my style. I think going into this game, I thought I would fight way more than I have, and even though fighting has kind of worked out for me so far, in the sense that I am still here, I don't know if fighting so hard I'll just burn out, or if fighting so hard is going to be what makes me win the game.
Yeah, I'm definitely fucked though, like...
No, I'm way more fucked than you are, bro.
The fact that Jesse left made my actions last week slightly pointless, but also slightly not. If anything, it really did lead to fissures and potential new relationships this game, so that's what I want to just explore.
Honestly, I would say that the majority of people here are still my friends, and I hope that they think the same with me.
I think you're a very intelligent player, and I'd be interested in continuing to work with you.
I can definitely play to your advantage.
I'm still planning to have open communication with all of them, and I think that we could make a huge game move moving forward, having numbers from the people that we each separately talk to. I think that we are both on the correct side of this downfall of Red that I've been hearing. Jesse's out, and that leaves Erica 100% by my side, and for Matt to be 100% by my side, I need CJ out. I am all for getting CJ out.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to CJ yet about what went down last round in terms of I am still kind of taking this as much miscommunication. I really hope to maybe heal my relationship with CJ going forward because we were allies, but I know that I am apparently one of her targets, so is it even worth trying to salvage my relationship with her at this point? This is just so much information, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it.
Now that Jesse's eliminated, I'm kind of feeling relieved, which is something I never thought I'd feel, but I think given the way that he behaved earlier this round, it's better for my game if he's gone and I'm not so closely tied to him anymore.
We haven't talked at all. And I'm going to be honest, there is a divide, and we are on separate sides of that divide.
We are.
I just have Erica's reactions when we're together. She's kind of cheered me on sometimes and just been honestly nice. And I think she's had the bad luck of the draw of being with the people she was with.
I don't hold any of that animosity that clearly Jesse was holding on to for a lot of people. I don't feel that way. I don't agree with anything Jesse said, so please don't hold anything that he ranted about tonight against me.
I think we could really do ourselves favors by getting our information, and truthfully, I really like you as a person and I want to see you go far, and so I want to be there to support and help that. I'm going to see if we can continue this, because continuing these relationships, especially with your enemy players, with your targets, can hopefully bring you to the end.
I think it's the time to really focus on a more select alliance. I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't expect Zach to rank me highly, even though I had made him safe in the chain, because I can definitely tell he's a very strategic person and he's here to play the game. And so I don't know, I just don't trust him for some reason. And usually I'm a pretty good judge of these things. I do not trust Zach. And I'm starting to think I'm not really in CJ's end game. So I think it's necessary to build stronger relationships within the friend side. I'm just trying to watch my back and figure out who I can trust and can't trust. And I'm in the alliance for now, but I don't trust Zach.
I like this group of folks here because I feel that you are both very good judges of character. And I also consider myself to be that way. So it feels good. It feels like building on people's strengths.
I like this group. I'm feeling good about this group. They trust me, and trust in this game is a currency for sure. I'm glad to be in as many conversations as I can be in. That's what Claire did in season 1, and that's what I'm trying to do now.
I start making a chart of everybody's top enemies and top friends. Basically, all of the friends are two-way relationships. So CJ and I have each other as our top friends. Sheridan and Matt have each other as their top friends. Finley and Emily have each other as their top friends. The only person, unfortunately, who does not get reciprocated is Zach. I end up making this spreadsheet that tracks everybody's name and what their votes were from each person. I assign a point value the same way that everybody gets assigned a point value from Anthony when they're calculating who the top friends and the top foes are. I pretty quickly start to see who the top players are and who the bottom players are, and I also start to see some of the discrepancies. When you start going by the points that we do know about, I see that CJ, Matt, and Sheridan are actually the top 3 players in the game. But what we saw in the game was that CJ, Matt, and Zach were the top friends, which means that the people who didn't reveal their votes ranked Zach pretty highly. That starts to set off a series of questions for me. Who has Zach been talking to? And why do people that aren't in our group rank him so highly?
I give my boarding bucks to Erica. She could really use the advantage, and I know no matter who I choose, people are going to assume that Erica has them. So I'd hate to screw her over by giving her that target and not the currency to compensate for it.
So now I actually have 5 boarding bucks, which is making me feel a little bit better. Obviously, I can't buy Steal a Vote because we already have it, but I'm getting closer to being able to buy the Fight Pass. Or, as Anthony keeps alluding to, we're going to need these babies at the end, so I think I might just hoard mine.
I want to talk about boarding bucks really fast, because you mentioned, as you reminded me, that you have 0 boarding bucks, and I feel like you gave me yours when you got out. Do you want it back?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, yes, just so that I have one.
It's possible the only way we'll ever get anything done with the boarding bucks in this game is if we start pooling them between players. I'm going to give you back your boarding buck because you asked for it, but I'm wondering if the only way to really succeed is to have a group of people pool their boarding bucks onto one person that they all have a vote with. I think it would be good to start floating the idea of putting all of our boarding bucks in one bucket.